Marshall is here and Joey Stead. I think everybody else here is here in your own stead. We don't have any replacements otherwise. So let us stand and recite our pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have a quorum. We have a remote. Call a roll. Yeah, sorry. Let's do a roll call real quick.
Absolutely. Town of Ashland, Mr. Trivett.
Here.
Charles City County, Mr. Patterson.
Present.
Chesterfield County, Vice Chair Carroll.
Here.
Goochland County, Mr. Spoonhour.
Also here.
Hanover County, Mr. Davis.
Present.
Henrico County, Chair Nelson.
Here.
New Kent County, Mr. Moyer.
Here.
Powhatan County, Mr. Donati.
Here.
City of Richmond, Mayor Avula.
Here.
Virginia House of Delegates, Cousins. Senate of Virginia, Senator Hashmi. Commonwealth Transportation Board, Mr. Davis. Capital Region Airport Commission, Mr. Miller. Mr. Rutledge.
Here.
DRTC, Ms. Adams. Here. RMTA, Ms. Dean. Ms. Marshall. Here. DRPT, Ms. Robinson. Mr. Chogden.
It will be Tiffany Dubinsky.
Thank you. VDOT, Mr. Rich. Mr. Totten.
Here.
Virginia Port Authority, Mr. Edwards. Mr. Cross.
Here.
And we do have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. We have received remote participation requests from one alternate. Mr. Cross has requested to participate remotely for the following reason, which is a personal matter. I am asking for a motion to confirm that he can participate remotely in essence. So moved. Second. All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Mr. Cross, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. Do we have any amendments to the agenda? All right, the minutes from our last meeting, August 22nd, can be found on page 4. With the approval of the minutes from our last meeting. Motion to approve. Second. All right, motion to approve and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. This is our open public comment period. Is there anyone here this morning who would like to speak to the CVTA board? All right, seeing none. I don't have any chairman remarks. I am going to ask that, and it's on the agenda for us to just hang. I promise you, the closed session will not be anywhere near as long as it was last time. All right, it'll be minutes. So I'm going to yield my chairman remark time so that we can spend a few minutes at the end. Executive Director's report, check.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. And this will be 2 minutes instead of 15. I just wanted to provide everybody a brief update on the bond evaluation process. We are now working, thanks to the great work of the TAC, we have a list of bond candidate projects that are being considered. We are now working after a very good call this week with legal counsel and bond counsel and our financial advisors to figure out next steps and what the proper package would be to share with finance directors. The next step for the authority would be for the finance directors of each locality to get together and talk about what the outlook is for those bond projects. But before we get to that point, we want to make sure that we have all of the homework done, all of the due diligence done to present them with something they can actually have meaningful discussion on. So staff is going to be working probably over the next 2 to 3 weeks to get that homework done. And at that point, we'll circle back with bond counsel and put something out for the finance directors. So still sticking to the same schedule, but I just want to give you an update today.
All right, thank you. Questions for chairs? I saying, let's keep on moving. Action items, B1 fiscal year 26 local allocation plans. Turning back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The staff report on page 9 is a quick summary of what this item pertains to. We develop every year a local allocation plan at the beginning of each fiscal year, which is essentially as it says, it's our planning document for localities to present the projects that they intend to use local Cvta dollars for. The 50% that goes back directly to localities from the tax revenue income. Localities use this plan to outline the projects that they think they will be using Cvta local dollars to support. It is a planning document, so we fully expect that through the year, as changes happen at the local level, as they always do, this plan can be updated and amended. Does not require additional action, but we can always bring it back to the authority or any of the subcommittees for updates or discussion as needed through the year. The intent of this is that it's a good tracking tool more than anything for you all to have access to, so that as you go through the quarterly reporting process showing what the actual Cvta local dollar expenditures were, you can cross-check that with the plan and see if there are any discrepancies that you wanted to discuss locally or even bring back to this body. It's also good support for at the end of the year, the annual certification. It's a good record-keeping tool to see where we are with Cvta local dollars. I do know, so the list that is, or the plan that is in the agenda packet was the recommendation from Finance Committee. So I did not make any updates to that recommendation, but I do know from localities, especially yesterday, I think the city of Richmond indicated that there was an update to their line items for the local allocation plan. So we will obviously make those changes and make those updates this afternoon even, so that plan is reflective of current conditions. But what is in front of you today, due to the timing and the recommendation from finance, is the snapshot that was approved or recommended for approval by the Finance Committee last week. Mr. Chair, that's the update, and the requested action is approval of the FY26 local allocation.
All right, thank you. Finance has already went through this, so questions from you colleagues for Chet? All right, hearing no questions, right? No questions? All right, can we get a motion to accept the local allocation plan?
So moved.
All right, moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's move on to number 2. Annual certifications and quarterly reporting. And that's on page 13.
Okay, yeah, apologize for the folded pages. We wanted to make sure the text was big enough for everybody to read. Appreciate that. So the staff report on page 13 pertains to the FY25 annual certification. So this is the compilation of the sign-offs from each locality that the Cvta local dollars from last year. So July 1 through June 30th of 25. were used to match the or to match the requirements that the code laid out. And in bold in the staff report, each locality shall annually provide to the authority sufficient documentation as required by the authority showing that the revenues distributed under subdivision D3 were used for the purposes set forth therein. So what we have in here is the certification pages submitted by each locality, as we do every year, to certify that local dollars were used appropriately. And then following that on page 23 is the year-end report of the compilation of the quarterly reporting for FY25. So the certification pages are certifying to that table that is on page 23. The action requested is approval of the FY25 annual certification of local expenditures. And Mr. Chair, this is the board.
All right. Questions for Chet? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion from the floor? Okay,
I'll second it with a comment.
all right.
I just think that all of this is on our website, right?
Absolutely.
This is, between the previous documents that we just went over and this list, this is an amazing accomplishment that the region has done with the dollars that we've all been getting for CVTA. And I just hope that the community is really getting an opportunity to see this, because this was never done before. This is amazing.
Thank you, sir, for sharing that. I agree. And well, let's take the vote first. Any other comments? All right, it's been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so I know in the past we made some videos, etc. I think this is, again, this as we continue to build on what we're doing, I think every way possible we can get the word out, not just on the video, I mean, not just on the website, but if we can put out some informational videos and stuff, I think for us to share, I think we all can smile and say we're doing these things together. So good point. Thank you, sir. Last thing, under action items before we get to reports, Chesterfield project agreement, which is found on page 29.
Yes, sir. This is a project agreement that has been proposed by Chesterfield County. This is putting in motion the reimbursement process for a regional project award that was made for the Busy Street extension. Through the action today, the authority will ratify that everything is in order and that the project can proceed with the expected reimbursements from the CVTA from the regional fund commitment that was made for the Busy Street extension. So this was brought forward by Chesterfield County as the administrator of the project, and it has been reviewed fully by TAC and Finance Committee. So the recommendation today is that the approval of the Busy Street extension project agreement as presented.
Any questions? Is Carol, anything you want to add?
Very honored to make a motion to approve, Mr. Chair.
Second. All right, motion been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, everyone.
All
A
right,
very busy street, you know.
busy street.
It is. Getting busy.
Finance Committee report. Chair Moyer, anything you want to share?
We basically went through a number of the things we talked about, and it looks like the overall board had the same feelings that the Finance Committee had to approve these. That's the last, those three items under the action items. And beyond that, I think I'll let some of the good stuff for our executive director to talk about with the numbers that we have coming in. But thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. This is an in-between month, which I will start calling that. between our bigger quarterly reporting package that Ms. Shepherd provides to the authority. But I wish I had had the foresight to order some confetti poppers.
Yeah.
Because if you look on page 38, well, actually, no, it's not even in there. Yes, it is. 38 was distributed earlier, 39 with the big red letters. We are now over $1 billion in tax revenues. So congratulations to everybody. At the same time, if you look at the bottom of the page, even with the work that this authority has done to provide some safety measures by establishing the working capital reserve and working to top that off, we are already over $17 million in interest income that is available for consideration in the future. And Finance Committee actually had a discussion about starting to formally talk about how to approach a process or requirements or guidelines for interest income and what steps to take to fully capitalize on that available funding as well. So we are doing very, very well. And I say this a lot, I think, but I think it remains to be said every meeting. The work that our fiscal agents are doing at Chesterfield County and the city of Richmond is to be commended. And we're very, I think we're a well-oiled machine, and the conversations that I have and our staff has with our fiscal agents multiple times each week are very productive, and you can see the results in the financial report. So well done, and thank you to everyone for your continued support on this. The next page, page 40, is the monthly investment report. And just wanted to highlight, I don't need to read through this, I don't think, but the bullets on the right-hand side are one of the new features. I believe we started this last month, where we get essentially some talking points or interest areas from Chesterfield County in terms of what to look at in the investment report and how we should anything that we need to pay particular attention to. So that is in the packet. I guess I did want to say one additional thing related to investments. There's been, I think, some more detailed discussion at the Finance Committee over the last few meetings about getting a better idea of what capital we have at any given point in time that can be reinvested and put into longer term strategies, especially as we watch interest rates and with the fact that all of our available funds right now are in pooled funds, because that is where the best rates are right now, rather than long-term investments. So I am working with PFM to put together a task order that I will bring back to the Finance Committee that will help us develop a tool to provide that point in time snapshot of funds available for reinvestment that aren't committed to regional project commitments or working capital reserve or other types of needs that are available at any one time. So at this point, I don't have any other updates for the full board, but I wanted to let you know that I'm working on that proposal, and we'll Mr. Moyer bring that back to the Finance Committee for more detailed discussion.
Mr. Parsons, just to add, though, with that discussion of interest, the amount of money we have in the interest pool, we were looking at somewhere, is it 20 million, is it 25 million, when we take a chunk of that and put into projects, and that would be good. The other thing is that we are recommending and approving projects that funding may not be for a year or two. And that may be, what we're talking about is, should that be a long-term investment situation versus, we know we have 100 million that's going to be spent in 2 years. Why are we putting in a daily thing? We should put that in CDs or something like that, or whatever Chesterfield would want to put it in.
Whatever we think is gonna give us the best return. That's what we're looking for.
So, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Any other questions, comments? I want to continue to thank everybody, Warrior Finance Committee, staff, in particular Chesterfield for what they have done and will continue to do in its role in helping to manage our finances and the city of Richmond. I think over the last month, we've had conversations. We know new finance director, new CAO, and you know, with the city is still doing its part to make sure that on a daily basis, we too are good. So we say thank you to both localities. TAC committee.
I can provide that update.
Okay, yes, sir.
The TAC had similar agenda items that the finance committee did. So many of the things that you all are approving today, the local allocation plan was a major item of discussion. The project agreement for Chesterfield, and one thing to note, this came up at the TAC meeting. There is another project that Chesterfield is ready to bring forward, but there is discussion about whether it would be the county or VDOT that would administer that project. So I believe those discussions might be taking place this afternoon. So we expect that this will be back on the agenda for TAC consideration next month. So that's forthcoming is another Chesterfield project. Other than that, that was the extent of the TAC meeting.
Thank you. Many of us work for a long time, for those of us who've been around for a while with John Luckbill and sports backers and all of the great things that sports backers has done to partner with our localities and to make RVA and the region a very active place. John is recently retired and there's some new leadership at sports backers. And so I'll let Chet introduce Mr. Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, this is a great opportunity. I wanted to invite Will Dixon from Sports Backers to be with us this morning to introduce himself, talk about the organization, and there are many areas where the work that you all are doing around this table overlap with the work that Sports Backers is doing for the region. So I thought it was only natural to have Will come talk a little bit about his vision and drive for the organization and ways that we can partner together in the future. So Will, turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Will Dixon. I know several of y'all around the table. This has been a big week for biking and walking in the region. We had the ribbon cutting, the fall line up in the Ashland, Hanover into Henrico County section. I guess y'all call that DB1, if I'm not mistaken, earlier this week. So it's an honor to be there and an honor to be here. I'm also taking notes on how to efficiently run a board meeting because it's impressive. But I did want to just take a little bit of time to share about Sports Backers as a whole. Chet kind of told me, he was like, I think people know who Sports Backers is. And I was like, I'm not so sure that everybody has a full understanding of the role that we play and what we try to do. The mission is simple. The mission is to inspire active living. And we do that in a variety of ways. Hopefully, can y'all see that? Do y'all have this presentation somewhere? Y'all got this. All right, cool. Hopefully you recognize a couple of the logos up here on the screen, but these are all of our programs. So the Bike Walk RVA program is probably the one that intersects most closely with this body's work. And I just want to commend y'all on how big of an impact you have made in such a really short period of time. It's really encouraging. As a lifelong Richmonder, I'm born and raised in Henrico County, still live there with my two boys and my soon-to-be wife getting married a week from today. So Henrico County is home. The Richmond region is home to me.
Off there for a second.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just playing.
You want to start with my face? So I genuinely really do appreciate it as a lifelong resident. So the Bike Walk RVA program, it really exists to advocate for bike and pedestrian safety. We have a program called the Bike Walk Academy that trains local individuals and citizens to be leaders in their community, learn how to advocate, learn how to get engaged in the community process. And then the Fall Line Trail is really the signature project of that program, which I'll dive more into later. Active RVA, wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't heard of this. We certify schools, businesses, and public entities that encourage their stakeholders to be more physically active. So if a school has an active curriculum, for example, think of a second grader doing a simple math question and they do the number of jumping jacks, that is the right answer to the question. We recognize those schools and then businesses that have workplace wellness programs, step challenges, subsidized gym memberships, things of that nature. So we certify them totally free of charge, convene them throughout the year, share best practices, really to try to build that culture of active living, both in the school system and in our workplaces. The All Stars program is the Active Living Leadership. I came up with that. Don't give me too much applause. The Active Living Leadership Stars program. It's a cohort of 20 high school seniors that over the course of their senior year, they learn about active living. They learn about how to extract lessons from their sports careers and apply them into the future. They learn about active living inequities that exist in our community. They learn about how to advocate and the advocacy side of things. And then there's volunteer projects involved. In the past, they've been things like resurfacing blacktops at elementary schools and doing bike safety videos for the community. And then at the end of that program, this cohort of 20 student athletes graduate with a college scholarship. So every year we give out $75,000 as college scholarships to these outstanding high school student athletes. The Fitness Warrior program, which would not exist without Mayor Danny Avula. He was actually around on the board at Sports Backers when this program was conceived. It's a phenomenal program, a train the trainer model, where we train individuals from generally low-income communities to be group fitness instructors. And in exchange for that training, they provide a free weekly class within their community. So these are neighborhoods that don't have, in some cases, even a YMCA. They certainly don't have a, Crunch Fitness or an American Family or an Orange Theory. These classes take places in community centers, libraries, churches, other places of worship. Over 60 free classes a week that take place all throughout the region. And then finally, our Kids on the Move program is our youth fitness program. We operate about 70 different run clubs and fitness clubs in local area schools, primarily Title I schools. So y'all might be thinking like, doesn't Sports Backers do events? I thought you were the event people. Well, we do those too. So we operate about a dozen events that we own and operate every year, including the Richmond Marathon coming up here in just a month. But we also contract and partner with other entities to do events, including tomorrow's Run Richmond 1619 event that starts and finishes at Kanawha Plaza. It's in partnership with the Jaimin Hansu Foundation to really tell the story of Richmond's Black history. It's a phenomenal event. If you have the opportunity to come out, might be a little wet, but it's a phenomenal event. So these events are opportunities to come together, to celebrate active living, to create community through physical activity. But they're also major economic drivers. The Richmond Marathon alone generated about $30 million in economic impact last year. It'll do it again this year, and it'll do it again next year. 2027 will be the 50th anniversary of the Richmond Marathon. So we're really proud of the fact that these events are locally owned and operated. We are very big supporters of sports tourism and everything that it means for our region. But we do kind of pat ourselves on the back a little bit. We're growing these things locally and really throughout the region. We have the Ashland Half not too long ago. We have the Carmack Stacky Light Run down in Chesterfield. And beyond that, these events really reach beyond any one jurisdiction, right? So we're drawing people from all over the region. The Monument Avenue 10K is 91% of participants, about 25,000 participants are from the Richmond region. We have training teams at every local YMCA branch where people actually are changing their lives and instilling healthy habits throughout the spring in that case, or the winter in that case, to get ready for the spring race. We have about 5,000 people on training teams throughout the year. So I'll fast forward through a couple of this stuff because I know Chet wants me to talk about the Fall Line too. Kind of a big deal. But our future is really kind of building a movement. It's building a sense of pride locally around physical activity, around this vibrant, healthy community. And one of the key factors to make that happen is the actual infrastructure itself. The American Heart Association and the National Institute of Health both cite built environment to encourage physical activity. I think if you live within, I think it's a quarter mile or half a mile of a green space, you have a 20% lower risk of anxiety and depression. right? Like these are like real health issues when it comes to our community. And that's before you start talking about healthcare costs and on the burden on that. So how do we really embrace what an active community can do for our region? And that really does start with, sorry, I'm gonna skip through a couple of things. That really does start with the built environment and a sense of pride and engagement. So as I mentioned, the fall line, it is this thing is big, guys. It is big, and I know you know it's big. We are so excited about it. And the reason that Sports Backers is excited about it really goes beyond the strip of asphalt, which is obviously a pretty important piece of the trail. But it's really the built environment around it, and the storytelling opportunities, the community connection points that it really will provide. The trail itself has 95 schools within a 2 mile radius of it, including 6 universities and colleges and 2 HBCUs. We think it might be the only trail in the country that connects 2 HBCUs with Virginia Union in the north and Virginia State in the south. Pretty phenomenal opportunity to really tell the story and kind of share the history of the Richmond region. And our role in it is not the funders. Thank you all for being, so generous with the funding. It's really, we're not laying asphalt. Thank you, VDOT. And others. We're really trying to instill a spirit. I think somebody at the ribbon cutting earlier this week called Sports Backers the glue that holds the trail together. I think that might be a little generous, but we are conveners, we are catalysts, we are looking to really create a spirit and a sense of experience along this trail. And we really want it to be world-class. And so what that looks like is really 4 key elements. And we've traveled the country looking at other trails, Atlanta, Bentonville, up in DC, up out to Indianapolis. Some of y'all may have been on these study trips that we've been on. But there's really 4 key elements that make a trail world-class. First is quality. It's got to be of utmost quality. People have to feel safe on it. They need to know where they are at any given point, the wayfinding, the signage. The placemaking. So how are we telling stories along the trail? How are we really showcasing the local culture where people are, but also kind of this connective tissue as this regional element? Trail-oriented development. This is economic development. This is huge and something we need to be cautious of, but something we are really, really excited about. We want breweries and bike shops and coffee shops and businesses and residences to have front doors that open onto this trail, and it will happen. It will happen. It happens all over the country, and I'll share a couple of stats about that in other cities in just a minute. And then a world-class trail has to be part of a network. It needs to be a spine that connects out into community where places where people want to go. It needs to connect to schools, places of business, parks, and other amenities throughout the region. I realize I'm flying through this. So what did Sports Backers do to try to make sure that we checked all those 4 boxes? We developed the fall line vision plan and threw a nice mugshot up there, Mr. Darrell. So we did this in partnership with all 7 of the jurisdictions that the trail passes through, with VDOT and other stakeholders, nonprofit groups and businesses. This was privately funded. Sports Backers fundraised for this to happen, and it's the first of the kind in the state. So it's never been done before. And it touches on things like trail-oriented development. What is the trail corridor actually going to look like? And as I mentioned earlier, trail-oriented development is real, and Richmond region is going to reap the benefits of that from the fall line. The Indianapolis Cultural Trail, which might be probably one of the better comparisons to Richmond, the High Line in New York and Atlanta Beltline. Well, not exactly Atlanta or New York, but as you can see, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of investment along this trail. And what the vision plan really allowed us to do was it allowed to get people around a table and actually look at a map and say, all right, where could we connect over to this park? Or where is a good place for a trailhead? Or where's a good place for public art? Where's a good regreening opportunity? So this is an excerpt from the vision plan that shows where public art can be located and what it could look like. Again, it comes back to that experience of the trail. It is a transportation project. It will also just drive people to go out on an evening stroll. We saw earlier this week that people were riding their bikes and walking during the press conference where we were opening the trail. I think some people might have been on the trail before it was officially open. What's that?
Reportedly.
Reportedly. They were what they call unofficial inspectors.
Uncompensated inspectors.
Uncompensated inspectors. I appreciate that. So on the horizon, what's next? we expect ground to be broken on DB2, right? So the southern segment, you guys probably know this better than I do. Next year, fully funded. And then we anticipate work in Bryant Park to start either later this year or early next year in the city of Richmond. So by 2027, we're gonna have 13 contiguous miles of the fall line from Bryant Park in the city of Richmond up to Carter Park in Ashland. It is gonna be phenomenal. And I think that the impact, part of our role is to make sure that the entire community, so we've brought together about 24 organizations and formed the Fall Line Placemaking Collaborative. So it includes nonprofits, public entities, and in some cases for-profit businesses that focuses on things like sustainability, transportation, housing, accessibility and adaptive athletics, and lots of in public art, brought them around the table and said, all right, how can we leverage our collective expertise to create this shared vision for what the fall line is going to look like for this entire region? And we're super excited about it. And the momentum is really building. I've shared earlier this week that for the first time on Wednesday, it really felt like we weren't the ones pushing the ball. The ball had been picked up and we were running with it as a region. And so a huge thank you to the Cvta for being a huge force to make that happen. And we're proud to be hopefully really great stewards of the investment that y'all have made. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions before,
I had one observation from the ground or the ribbon cutting. This isn't a question, it's just a comment. You mentioned the trail oriented development and, you know, eyes on the trail and connecting to communities. Chickahominy Falls is a new community in Henrico that is developed along the trail, just over the bridge, near the Chickahominy, and they had 25 people out, in their Chickahominy Falls riding club jerseys. So there's already people that are like possibly choosing where to live based on the trail being there. So it's a great illustration of the concepts that we're all trying to advance.
Mr. Chair.
yes,
If I may.
I think it may be a question of Mr. Dixon.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's more of a statement, sir. Mr. Dixon, I would like to thank you. And of course, you know, Charles City County has a trail that runs cap to cap from Dayton to Williamsburg.
I've heard of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And and it runs the entire length of the county. So again, I'd like to thank you and welcome you, and Charles City County will definitely look forward to working with you.
Thank you. It is one thing I did have in my remarks and forgot to mention, the connectivity to both the Virginia Capitol Trail in downtown Richmond and the Appomattox River Trail at the southern end really does create this kind of major infrastructure network that we're excited to leverage for sure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Comment, Mr. Chair.
Another comment, Mr. Dixon.
I wanna,
Spell the way.
I just wanna piggyback on the gratitude. I mean, well, it's been a former sports backer, board member and longtime partner when I was public health director. What you guys have done for this region is absolutely remarkable. And I think hopefully all of you just listening to Will are hearing like the enthusiasm around Fall Line and so much of the other work that you all do. Back in May, we were down in Greenville at the intercity visit, and Will and I were standing on the bike trail there, and you could just see like he was giddy like a little kid about just how that had developed and how that may play into the vision here, and just got me fired up about it too. So I just thank you for your leadership. Hopefully you all also see just how well poised Sports Backers is for this next chapter, and I'm really grateful you stepped into it, Will.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows, I didn't pay them to use my picture. I'm fine with it, but I didn't pay them to use the picture. Exactly.
Thank you, sir. Looking forward to working with you, and Sports Backers already has the reputation of doing great work, and I think the Fall Trail, I was about to say the Cap Trail, the Fall Trail will continue to add to that. The Greenville, I was caught off guard by Greenville, North Carolina, and the trails around the river. But honestly, I still think that we have some of the best already. And when you add the Fall Trail in, we'll have an impressive catalog of trails around here. So we're excited about that. Martha, we have we have Chet here to do the Plan RVA and TPO agency reports, but I mean, since you're here, we would love to hear from our fearless leader, so.
Well, I'm taking notes this morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair, and members. I don't think any of you have ever called me giddy, so. She loves it. I want to be mindful of your time. I think there are about 7 of you that could probably give a report from Plan RVA since we were just here yesterday. But I'll just say good things are happening. We had great discussion in the executive committee and lots of information packed into the commission meeting yesterday about where we're headed is in the future. So our regional strategic vision is outlined on one of the boards behind Mr. Gregory. And yesterday the board heard updates about our comprehensive economic development strategy and our comprehensive climate action plan, our air quality plan for the region. So both of those are headed out for public comment in the coming weeks, and the commission board will be scheduled to approve those plans as they reach finalization in the region. I think both of them really tie closely to the work of the Cvta because this is where we're making the investment priorities for the region to ensure that people and goods and services can move across the community. So congratulations on the $1 billion. I knew we were close, but it was exciting to see that in print today. So very, very exciting. Next week, the TPO meets on Thursday. So both of the updates are from the last meetings of the 2 boards, but we've got some good things happening on the TPO side, continuing to move forward with project endorsements. I think we've got a couple of tip amendments on the agenda, but overall it's a fairly light meeting. And so I'll just use the rest of the time to say thank you. I know you and Mr. Rogish have already been talking about the joint annual meeting, and I'll be looking forward to working with Mr. Parsons on thinking about what topic we can explore as a group of the 3 bodies together to really move the transportation agenda forward.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Thank you, appreciate you. All right, CVTA member comments. Floor is open for anyone who wants to share. I won't keep it open long, but it is open. If you want to share anything. Yes.
It's already been talked about with Fall Line Trail. But anyway, I just want to express Ashland's appreciation. You know, it worked out that we had the trolley line trail, the infrastructure, the ancient infrastructure was there. But we know it's a teamed process, and the whole of the trail is what's really, really exciting. And we're thankful for the commitment and the funding support all around that we got to be the starting point. Sometimes in life, you can look at what you've accomplished and be thankful. Sometimes you look at what's happened to you and just be thankful and express gratitude. So anyway, that's where the town is. And we will have some public art there at the trailhead end of the year, the first of next year. So getting that started. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
It was said earlier, but I think it's important. I know Hanover wants to have it on the record as we look at these financials, and I've reviewed them, you know, time and time and time again. It really is stellar. And as you said, these are deliverables. So every dollar goes to something somebody can see or use back to the respective constituencies of the Partnership for Fiscal Management. Thank you. Your leadership, Mr. Chairman. But I mean, this is, you know, we sit in a lot of meetings that don't always have this type of, we don't have financials like this, right? And especially over the years as things get rocky. So this is really something to remark on. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Totally agree. Real projects, real stuff in our communities, all of our communities. So anybody else? All right. We move now to closed session. I move that the authority convene in closed session pursuant to Virginia Freedom of Information Act section 2.2-3711A 1 airport. Just hang out there for me. Yes. A1 for the purpose of discussing personnel matters concerning a CVTA employee during which all recording of the meeting will cease. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?